Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Secret Invasion Episode 5, Harvest. In this episode, Fury gathers his allies. Gravik deals with unrest. By director Ali Salim, written by Kyle Bradstreet. This show stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. We also see Emilia Clarke as Gaia, Don Cheadle as Rhodey, and also one of the Skrulls, Vanna, I believe. Kingsley Benadir as Gravik, and we have once again Olivia Colman as Sonia Falsworth from the MI6. She's actually some of the best part of the show. I will say there's a few things that I might get in a little bit into spoilers. So if you haven't seen this, make sure to just take some time. But this show is really interesting because it's stuck in a really bad place, just with a lot of outside forces, and I'm talking about that. This show fully pivots on building tension for Nick Fury, right? And the problem is that this week we got a lot of new like articles and advertisement and views at the upcoming the Marvels film, where Nick Fury's plastered all over the place, and he looks great. He looks great. So like I, I mean, it really, and this happens with comic books a lot, where like something will happen, character will die, and then because of the way comics are and they have to advertise so far in advance, um then we kind of get it spoiled on like what the future of that character is going to be, because we're looking at the next thing they're in already when the thing that we're still reading or watching hasn't even finished. So that's kind of a bummer, because this show had been okay all the way through, but there was a lot of really, like, anything Samuel L. Jackson was doing, Don Cheadle, Olivia Colman, even Ben Mendelsohn, which, like I mentioned, spoilers, Talos is dead. Um, yeah, like, it had been great. So now it kind of falls upon the rest of the cast here and everything to still try to raise that tension with us knowing that probably everything's going to be like, I can't imagine this having big repercussions into everything going forward, which is probably not the best way to look at the show. But unfortunately, that's what this show's asking me to do, right? Um, it also feels like, instead of the Secret Invasion big bombastic event that was the comics, this is more like Nick Fury's Secret War, where it's a story that goes and deals with an event that happened that no one is aware of other than Nick Fury and the individuals that were part of it. I know there's some bigger implications. They got the president of the United States involved with the attack, and they're trying to set up this big global conflict. But it just feels like, to me, it feels like it's going to peter out. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, episode 6 delivers everything. And we end in a really cool place, too. Like, Nick Fury's finally back to where we want to see Nick Fury, I think. He's finally overall his trauma and using that loss to kind of fuel himself. I think one of the highlights of this show is Don Cheadle playing this a bad guy character. I think, yeah, Varna. I forget the name of the scroll. Uh, but yeah, Don Cheadle's playing it great. I wish we had a little bit more. Emilia Clarke, she gets a little bit more to do this episode, but she also feels like she's kind of been in the periphery. Hopefully, she does more going forward as this character. So, yeah, I don't know. It's all been pretty okay, and unfortunately, I had a little bit higher expectation for the show. But like I said, it's still entertaining to watch. It just feels like something, like, I had to really think hard today. I'm recording this one day after I saw the show, and I had to think really hard into what happened yesterday. Like, did I even watch the episode? And that's not something like, when an episode of something is really good, it leaves a lasting memory, and unfortunately that didn't happen um, with this episode. Whereas the previous episodes, there was some fun stuff. We do see some unrest with the scrolls, as I mentioned. I don't think they all want to take the extreme measures that Gravik is taking. So I feel like in the end, things are gonna go back to the status quo, and I hope I'm wrong. But I feel like things are going to go back to the status quo a little bit, but now with Amelia Clark's Gaia as the leader of the Skrulls. So we'll see how that plays out. It'll be really interesting. But yeah, there's just a lot. This show, unfortunately, has seen a lot of issues both in the show and outside from outside forces. So kind of a shame. But we'll see what happens. So if you saw this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.